Hello, everyone. My name is Lashina Williams, and I am a nonprofit enthusiast. So, most nonprofits believe they lose funding at the application stage, but the truth is far more uncomfortable and far more solvable than that. Many organizations actually lose funding long before they ever submit an application, not because their mission isn't worthy, not because funders are inaccessible, but because of foundational issues that quietly disqualify them before a proposal is even open. So, after more than a decade of working across the funding ecosystem as a grant manager, funder, reviewer, consultant, nonprofit founder, I can confidently say funding decisions are often made before your application is reviewed. But the good news is these issues are fixable once you know what to look for. So, today I'm going to go over some tips around what you should look for and some things that you can do now and fix this so that you don't run into this issue within your organization. So, the first one I want to talk about is passion versus readiness. And yes, you definitely want to have passion for the work that you do, but you can't just survive as a nonprofit on passion alone. So, yes, passion matters, lived experience matters, your mission matters, but funders are not only investing in what you do, but they're also investing in your ability to execute, manage, measure, and sustain your work. When an organization cannot clearly explain who's managing the program, how funds are tracked and reported, or what happens when the grant ends, that creates a risk. And funders don't like to fund risk. So, fundable organizations lead with readiness. They clearly demonstrate defined leadership and staff roles, financial controls, existing program infrastructure, and a realistic sustainability plan. And this is something, if you don't have it with your organization, I encourage you to do so. Funders fund organizations that are prepared to steward resources, not just those with compelling stories. And yes, our stories are important, but we also should have the data to back it. The next area I want to talk about is internal misalignment. One of the fastest ways to lose credibility in internal inconsistencies, reviewers notice immediately when your website says one thing, but your proposal is saying a totally different thing, or your budget doesn't match even what you're proposing or what's on your website. Your staff roles don't align with proposed activities, or when strategic plans are outdated or missing. These are signals that there's lack of organizational clarity. From a funder's perspective, misalignment raises a serious question. If the organization can't align internally, how is it going to manage our funds? Strong organizations maintain a single source of truth. They have a clear mission and program descriptions. They have defined annual priorities, a budget tied directly to strategy, consistent languaging everywhere, and alignment builds trust. The next point I want to talk about is transactional funding. And in 2026, we are not transactionally seeking fundings for transaction, but we're building relationships. Many nonprofits treat grants like one-time transaction. They find a grant, they submit the application, wait for the decision, but funders experience funding very differently. They ask, does the organization understand our priorities? Do they have they done their homework like we've done ours? Do they engage beyond funding requests? Are they prepared, responsive, and professional? Funding decisions are often influenced by relationships built over time, not just a single proposal submitted. Organizations that build trust early have significant advantage. And this could be as simple as maybe inviting, if it's a, let's say a hospital system, you might invite a group out to come out and volunteer as a part of your mission. So the next point I want to go to is unclear impact. Many nonprofits describe activities well, but struggle to articulate their impact. Funders are not funding programs, they are funding results. I'm going to say that again. Funders are not funding programs, they are funding results. They want to know what changes because of the work. How do you know it's working? What outcomes matter the most? Strong organizations move from activity based language, which you may have used when you started out, but going over to outcome driven storytelling. They define clear outcomes, use simple and credible metrics, explain how data is collected and used, and connect impact directly to funders' priorities. The next point is one that I am often talking about. You all have heard me talk about this. I continue to. There's past videos, you could check it out. But under investing in capacity building within your organization. And if you know me, you know I can talk about this day, night, and not repeat the same thing when it comes to the importance of investing in the capacity building of your organizations. Ironically, many nonprofits avoid investing in systems, staff, infrastructure because they believe funders won't support it. The result is burnout, weak financial systems, missed deadlines, and reactive decision making. And funders notice this. Capacity building is not overhead, it's a strategic investment. And one that, if you're not making it with your organization, I encourage you to do ASAP. Strong organizational budgets realistically strengthen financial management, invest in systems and data, and are transparent about their capacity needs. Impact requires infrastructure. Don't you forget that. So, all in all, funding losses rarely happen because a proposal wasn't written well enough. They happen because the organization wasn't ready, systems weren't aligned, the story wasn't supported by structure, the relationship wasn't built, and capacity wasn't visible. Organizations that consistently secure funding are not perfect, but guess what? They're prepared. So if your nonprofit is struggling to access funding, the solution may not be to write more grants. It may be to strengthen what happens before you start applying for grants. And you don't have to do it alone. That's why we're here to help. So if you need any help, check us out at www.nonprofitenthusiast.com. And for more helpful content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be continuing this conversation throughout the month, so you don't want to miss the upcoming conversations, not only with myself, but special guests in this area. So I look forward to seeing you all. Bye, everyone.